just signed a contract in January, 5-year deal, nearly $15 million, pretty pennies. At the end of the deal, you'll be a crisp 78 years old. You tried retirement once. Let's face it, you weren't very good at it. It's probably the only thing you've ever not been good at. You came back. So my question to you would be, God willing, health is good, everything is good on that front. Do you anticipate coaching through the end of your contract? And can you anticipate, or would you even prefer and hope, that this will in fact not even be your last contract at Kansas State?
Well, I can't answer the question because I don't know, but I feel this way. You know, if my health, if I remain in good health, that'll be a factor. And my doctor says I'm doing all right. The main concern is whether or not I'm doing what's right for the program, and I think I'm kind of a self-assessor. I do self-assess a great deal, and I do it with intention, and that's kind of ongoing. And at any time when I feel like I'm not doing what is in the best interest of the program and the young people in the program, then I'll step aside, no matter when that happens to be. But there's a misnomer about my first venture in retirement, because indeed I don't think that I totally failed at it. I have a dear friend that calls and says that he failed as a retirement coach, but I enjoyed, what I was doing after a period of time. You always have, I say always have, I, had some, a little bit of anxiety, initially.
I had heard that but 2 weeks after you announced your retirement, you tried to come back. Was that true?
Well, we talked about it. I, wasn't sure if I'd made the right decision or not, and so I had some dialogue about it. But, our governor asked me to help her create a mentoring initiative throughout the state of Kansas. So I got heavily invested in that, and I really enjoyed that because it was about the state of Kansas, and it was about trying to help the people of the state of Kansas, and gave me an opportunity to do that. And I enjoyed it, and so in the last couple of years, I really didn't have very much anxiety about not coaching, and it wasn't something at that time that I was looking to do. And it took me a while. It took about 6 weeks to make the decision to come back. It's kind of like when I came here. I didn't come here because of football. It was because of the people, and that's a long story in its own right, and how I came to that conclusion. But I've always felt that it was about the people of Kansas State. I think it's a unique university, and wonderful people that surround Kansas State and support it. And I've always said, I came here because of people. I stayed all those years, and when we started having a certain degree of success, and there's a lot of people that knock on your door, and I've never interviewed. I just made the statement that I wanted to stay here because of the people. Well, when I retired, my wife and I stayed in Manhattan, Kansas. I didn't take the warm weather climates, etc. Stayed here during that period of time, again because of the people. And when I came back, that was the reason. There was that feeling out there that maybe there was waters that were ruffled a little bit, and maybe I could help in that respect. And so after long, hard thought, that's why I came back.
So we're not ruling out that you might have another contract in you. We may get
well, I
past
wouldn't
70.
rule anything out, but like I said, it just kind of depends on, I'll know when I'm not doing it the way it needs to be done here. I think I will.
Well, listen, Coach, this was really a thrill to be able to come in here and visit with you during the season. I know how busy you are, and you've created something really special here. Your name's on the stadium, but as we all know, your impact at this university extends well beyond what happens in the stadium, and that's really the best that we can hope for. So thanks for being on the show, and best of luck.
You're very kind. Thank you, Seth. I appreciate you.
Thanks for being on the show.
You bet.